So what are you going to be for Halloween? Have we figured this out yet?
No.
I will tell you, Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus, that outfit,
dude,
is incredible. That held up. I would totally be her. That lipstick.
Oh, yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts lipstick.
And the buck teeth.
Oh.
So good. I mean, they've definitely monetized Hocus Pocus hardcore since this movie came out because... I don't even know, man. I have a Hocus Pocus shirt. Oh, I should have worn it. I didn't.
What? How are you not wearing it?
I didn't.
You have a shirt for everything.
I know.
I'm impressed.
I do. I'm a shirt girl.
You are a shirt girl.
I wear shirts. What can I say? No, I'm looking for Halloween. My goal is to find like pajamas that are comfy, but also kind of look like a costume, so I can say I dressed up.
I mean, is anyone even going anywhere?
No.
Probably not, right?
I don't think so.
My favorite costume of all time, which is like a totally weird one of the Lindsays from college. You're going to guess which one when I tell you what costume. She came as Booby Trap.
Oh, I know which Lindsay it is.
And she had a white t-shirt and jeans and took 2 mousetraps and put it on her boobs.
What?
How brilliant is that? She's like, I'm a booby trap. I was like, this is the most brilliant costume for college ever.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
She was so comfy. She was just like walking around.
I'm amazed. I've never seen that before. Oh my God.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're here. We're on imaginary brooms flying through the air. Ooh, I like that.
Is that a good wish one?
I like that one. That was a good one. They didn't do... No, Bette did some cackling.
She did a lot of head back, like...
She totally
like,
did.
She definitely used her singing voice to get into that.
Yeah, she definitely did. All right, so we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where 2 sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And we are the sisters?
Sisters? Oh my God. I was like, Katie, this is your moment.
I know.
Sisters?
I wrote in my notes being like, oh, make a note of that. Don't forget it. Don't forget it.
I really did love their dynamic.
Yes.
As sisters.
I wrote that.
I forgot about that as a kid.
They're good sisters.
They were good.
Because they like each other, but they also bicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have different personalities. And in some cases, 2 of them will gang up depending on the, event or what they're trying to achieve.
Yes.
But, oh my God.
So our movie, obviously, is Hocus Pocus.
Just a bunch of Hocus Pocus.
Oh my God. It's so cheesy. I love it. In my opinion, this is like the ultimate Halloween movie.
Really?
It is, because, and I mean, I'm sure one could argue for a scary movie, but this has the, aesthetic. Everything is Halloween.
Yeah.
Everybody's bought into it. It takes place on Halloween.
Yep.
And there's trick-or-treating and spooky stuff. And I feel like you see all different types of ways people celebrate Halloween, if you will.
Yes.
So.
And it's an all-age film. This isn't just a kid's film or an adult film. I think this is fun, no matter your age.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what's interesting about this? So when it first came out, it did okay. It kind of made more money as time went on.
Yeah.
Because this, as you say, 1993 is the best year for movies.
Yep.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't want to compete with it.
Oh.
So Hocus Pocus came out in July.
What?
So, it did, meh, because it's, July. Who was thinking about Halloween?
Yeah, what?
But they also think that, helped them because they weren't, compared. And I thought
true.
that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, should we do the synopsis?
Yeah. Do you want me to go first?
I think you should do it, yeah.
Okay. So, movie starts off. We get a nice cold open. And you know us, we love a good cold open. Boy, howdy. Actually, is it a cold open?
I was like,
wait, I'm
what?
monologuing about it. I don't think it is now that I say that. Never mind, it's not.
Wait, maybe I don't know what a cold open is. Like, what are you talking about?
That's like what happens if there's scenes before the title, before like the official title drop. But I don't remember when the title drops. I'm blacking out. So we're gonna ignore what I said and move on. So
it's magic.
It starts off with, we're in a colonial village, straight up like Salem witch times, having a good time in the woods, and teenage guy wakes up. Oh snap, sister's missing. Oh snap, witches be kidnapping. Oh snap, gotta run through the woods and go find them. Meanwhile, apparently everyone knows where these witches live, and I guess we just weren't concerned until right now. I don't know. So he finds it. You know, it's not like we're looking, like he knows where it is. So whatever. Goes in. Witches are like, yo, we got this kid, made a potion. We're gonna suck the life out of her, and it's gonna make us young and beautiful. The brother, like, kinda jumps in, tries to stop. Doesn't work. Sister gets the life sucked out of her. I was just about to word that weird.
She gets sucked?
I didn't
Awkward.
Want to say that.
Oh, gross.
And then the witches are like, you know what? We're gonna do a curse on you because you annoyed us. So they turn him into a cat. And his name is Thackeray. Did you know it's Thack? It's Thackeray?
Yeah, I don't know why that was necessary, but okay.
Because it's like the olden days.
Like the 1600s. I don't know.
But then they just call him Binks because it's his last name, and Binks is a cuter cat name. So I don't even know why we needed a weird first name. I don't know. So he's a cat. Then the townspeople show up, and the witches get hung because again now they're concerned about the witches that they all knew about. Right now they're worried about them, so now they're hung. But before they get hung, they do a curse, and they're like, on Halloween, a virgin is gonna light our candle, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna, like, mess stuff up. And then everyone's like, whatever. So now it's present day. We're in Salem, Massachusetts, and there's a new kid in the town, and he's like, I'm from San Francisco? Is that where he's from?
Los Angeles.
Is
right?
it? Oh, it's Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's such a stereotype. It's like really funny.
That's why they call him Hollywood.
And he's like, ugh, you guys are like so into Halloween. Halloween's like a national holiday. I don't like.
And like,
not that
it's
weird.
Salem. You moved to Salem.
Yeah, what are you expecting? So he's kind of like the outsider, and everyone's gung-ho about Halloween. He ends up having to take his little sister trick-or-treating, because it's Halloween, everybody, don't forget. It's a Halloween movie. It's Hocus Pocus.
Someone forget? Okay.
Don't forget. And so he takes her trick-or-treating because the parents are like, deuces, we're abandoning our parental responsibilities to go to a party. Also, they're not even dressed up when the kids leave for trick-or-treating. So, like, you guys, like, aren't even leaving yet. Like, you could have gone, whatever. I don't know. It's so weird. They go trick-or-treating. Some silly stuff happens. They end up at this girl's house, who was a girl that Zach was macking it, or trying to mack it with, Allison. And they start talking, and she says somehow the witches get brought up, and then Max, who is the main character, he's like, oh, let's go to their house.
The museum.
Yes, it was turned into a museum. And, like, then they are like, okay. So they go. Unlike...
And then they're
all
like,
right, we're gonna... Listen. We'll talk about it. There's a lot of questions. Many questions I have. Go to the house. Magically, no one else is there. It's so magical. Virgin Max outs himself, lights a candle. Witches are back.
The black flame candle.
Yeah. So the witches come back. Now they're like, yo, kids. And basically the whole rest of the movie is the witches are chasing these trio. The trio meets up with Binks the cat.
Well, they steal the book.
They steal the book because there's an evil magic book. They are like running through the town. They're trying to get help. Nobody's believing them. The witches are chasing them. There's a lot of like, oh, we tricked them or we beat them. Oh, no, we're good. There's a zombie in there who's like, he doesn't really do much, to be honest. Like, we didn't need him. And yeah, and then at the end, it's all about sibling love and murdering grown women. And that's the moral of the Disney story. So, that's
Okay, I'll add.
Please do, because that was a little choppy, I'll say.
I loved it. No, I thought it was great. I'll add that the dynamic of real 1600 century witches coming back and dressing and looking, and they're in modern day, but it's Halloween, so no one thinks this is strange, was the funniest part.
Yes.
And then they would be like, what is this black river?
Oh
Let's go sip in it. And then
love
it was
it.
like a road. And they're like, it's hard. It's like cement. It's like a road. That made it so funny and like that nobody cared. I loved that part.
Yes.
And I think these movies, we see this theme where like parents and authority figures are just like worthless.
Oh my God.
Right? Because
So
they would be like,
sad.
Mom, Dad, help us. And they were like literally dancing to the beat, not giving a crap about
Mom
the kids.
has the pointy boobs, and the dad was like weirdly hitting on Allison for a little bit, and like everything about it was not okay.
So strange.
Ugh.
That's the only thing I'd add is like that interesting part of, well, wouldn't people just like see weird witches and think something's up? And it's
Right.
like, no, it's in Salem and Halloween. Everyone's dressed as witches. That's what makes it hysterical.
You know what's interesting? I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I've seen floating around the internet that they are going to try and make a sequel for this.
Yes. No, I think it's true.
Okay, but the poster, and it may not be an actual poster, it could totally be fan made, but I feel like the poster I saw, it was like them in like Times Square.
Oh.
And like,
oh wait, it's like out?
no, it's not. But I feel like I've seen like a teaser poster, you know, where they're like trying to just hype it up. Like, oh, coming out this year, whatever.
Oh my God.
I just hope
Okay.
it's not true. Is it true?
I'm gonna look it up. Oh my God, Hocus Pocus 2.
But like, look for images and see if I made that up, because I agree with you. I feel like if this...
It's in pre-production. Okay.
Yeah. Like if this wasn't on Halloween in a place where people genuinely celebrate. So again, you think of a town or whatever. Like you're not thinking of the desert or
Yeah.
honestly even a city. And I'm not saying people in the city don't celebrate Halloween. I know you guys do, but it's different. Because in the city, you're probably going to have more older people and like people in their 20s, like going out to bars and doing that type of Halloween, which is very different than a small town Halloween, where I feel like what you said, they're going to blend in a lot better and no one's going to give them a second thought, you know?
Yeah. I'm looking at a Hocus Pocus 2, The Witch is Back!
Yeah.
Poster, and it does look like Times Square.
No! It's going to be so
Why?
bad. I don't know, but this is, I mean, it's to your point of this movie was not as popular back then, and I think it's definitely gained a lot more attention. They play this movie, I'm not even kidding,
So much.
probably daily on Freeform, which is the channel that does the 31 Nights of Halloween.
Ooh.
Like every day they play this movie, which is cool, but like it's a lot.
I mean, it's very popular.
And it's entertaining. I mean, like you said, I feel like I still like it. I watch it every year.
Oof. We might need to like break our only doing old movies to do sequels of movies.
if they're tied to a nostalgic way. Yeah, I'm down for that. I think that's fine.
Because if that's in pre-production, will it come out maybe like 2021 at some point? COVID probably screwed everything up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be pushed back.
You know, that could be cool.
Yeah.
So you you touched on this on your monologue. So they're in Salem. It's 1600s.
Oh my God.
And they know witches steal children, and they're literally, it's like they're neighbors. And everyone's like, it's like, wait, why doesn't anyone... And I guess it insinuated that, well, they don't mess with us and they leave us alone and don't go near there. That's the witches. But it's like literally Kathy Najimy is like frolicking through the meadow.
No, it was SJP, Sarah Jessica
Oh,
Parker.
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then she's just like skipping.
Oh
Wait,
my
and
God.
also, I don't know why I got fixated on this, but when he went to run and like, he had no shoes on and then he like fell down a hill and
Bridget.
I'm like, what is happening? Where are your shoes?
Freshman year of college, my still two best friends, Jen and Julie, shout out Jen and Julie.
Hey.
We would watch this movie and we loved it so much. We were like, yo, let's make like a drinking game. And I might be making this up that we invented this. It may have just already been a thing, but we would play it. And one of the things that you would have to drink is when it gets to the part where he falls down the hill, you have to like waterfall for the length of time because he rolls down the hill for so long. It's ridiculous. Where you're like, wait, guys, you're just wasting film now. I mean, you didn't
and like, I'm like, wait. A witch, unless she like flew down the hill, I don't understand why there wasn't an easier way to get to the house.
Okay, but the best is at the very end, because we know he gets turned into a cat, and he's dressed how he's dressed. He's just, like, really weird, and he has no shoes on. When he is then a ghost person, because he, like, is freed from the curse or something, he's dressed in the same outfit, and he's not wearing shoes. It's just like, what up? I'm a ghost with no shoes. What's up? I'll forever be in my jammies. And you're like, oh, no. That seems not great. So sorry.
I did kind of like that he had that old-timey voice, and then the cat had the old-timey voice.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid being like, that's like an old cat. Like, I just like not made the connection, and now watching it, I'm like, oh, that was like authentic. They were trying to be like authentic.
Olden days
okay,
cat.
If you lived forever, okay, and now that's 300 years you're living.
Ugh.
You're not going to change up the way you talk?
I guess not.
Why not?
Well, who's he talking to? He's not talking to anyone.
He's listening.
I mean, I guess.
He's learning new words. He's making sure punks don't break into the house museum at Halloween.
Oh, first of all, he did not do a good job. All he did was look through the window. They busted in that house so easily.
Yeah, he wasn't really protecting.
He was, like, taking a nap. I don't get it. But, like,
yeah,
if you were in that position, wouldn't you want to be like, I don't know, I feel like I would try to, as a cat, like, befriend a human and, like, reveal that I can talk and then have them just destroy the candle because the candle is the catalyst to all of this. So, or could I just knock it over? Because I have pause.
Feel like
I don't know.
He needed you. Banks needed you. You would have really just helped this whole situation.
Okay, but straight up, you know the cat that visits Dad every night in the neighborhood?
Do you think that cat talks and Dad talks
I feel like Dad he'd like talk to him. Like he wouldn't be freaked out. He'd be like, totally. Yeah, I'll go get this candle, whatever.
I mean, the way Dad would actually do it is he would tell Mary, you, or me to go to this place he would have a piece of paper and give us a grocery list and add it onto the list and then say when it's done.
And do like a $5 bill and be like,
he'll be like, here's $5.
Troubles.
Figure it out.
Oh my God.
Figure it out for the gas.
I love it though. I mean, that whole beginning, there's like kind of silly parts, but I do think it kind of sets the witches up pretty well. Because like you said, you kind of see their dynamic pretty quickly. And you see that Bette Midler, who is Winifred Sanderson, she's like the leader, you know, and kind of reading this magical, creepy book. Like that book, that's gross. So good. I loved it.
She had a Lord of the Rings, like, my precious. She was like,
Gollum reference? I love a good Gollum reference.
I was like, okay, you like are very attached to this book. You can't remember a spell? Like, come on.
Yeah, and like this is the potion you guys keep making, and we still need to look at the recipe book. Someone's a little dependent.
Just eyeball it, you know?
Right. And then you see Sister Mary, who is Kathy Najimy. We love her. Who's like, Sister Sarah isn't doing anything, and like, I'm the middle child. she was like, me and you.
It's too real, Kathy. Well, okay. Fun fact, which I think she was a better cast. Rosie O'Donnell actually got that part.
Oh my God.
But turned it down because this is what the internet says, that I'm like, really? She didn't want to do a film that killed children. That she was a part of like killing children. I mean, I guess, but it's like a silly Disney movie.
Yeah. Like, there's no blood. What?
But Kathy Najimy...
Kathy's like, I don't care, I'll kill kids.
Well, she was a huge Bette Midler fan, and if you remember, with Sister Act, it was supposed to be for Bette Midler, so Kathy Najimy's been like a Bette Midler stalker, and she like got her moment, which makes it even better, because she was like like pretty thirsty for Bette Midler the whole film.
Oh my God.
Yep, 1992 was Sister Act. You got it. You're doing your math.
No, I know, but I was thinking, because you had told us on the Sister Act episode that Bette Midler pulled out of doing it because she was in something else, and I was wondering if it was this, but it couldn't be this because Kathy was also... Right, okay.
No, but her, like, being obsessed with Bette Midler is,
God.
like, true in real life, and she's actually, like, obsessed with the sister Winnie, which...
I love it.
Her whole character that was, like, when Bette Midler's like, do you understand? That's the plan, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, you explained that so well. You really articulated what we should be doing. And she was, like, this hump-up person. Like, she was, like, the friend that, like, tells you look cute on Instagram, and is like, way to go, you're hot.
Well, she was, like, the one who was also like, let's form a calming circle. And you're like, what? We're on a mission. We have a time limit, honey.
And then she takes their brooms away. I'm like, okay, you're a little too feely. Yeah. You gotta focus. You're on a mission. And by the way, you only have like a day to live.
Not even at that point. They had hours.
Haven't you been calm for 300 years? Like,
right. Like, this is just not... It's okay to have some adrenaline.
And then Sarah Jessica Parker, who's like,
mama.
You know, the flirty, young, kind of ditzy idiot.
Boobs are out.
Her boobs are out.
The whole time. They're just
the whole time.
Like Disney. This is Disney. Like, just boobies. What's happening?
Well, okay, I will go on a little bit of a soapbox here. In my opinion, with women, if women are really thin, they can look slutty and it's acceptable. If women are bigger, like Kathy Najimy couldn't wear the same outfit because people would be like, she's too revealing. Right. But just because she's bigger.
No, it's so true.
So Sarah Jessica Parker, I think, got away with like the slutty, your boobs are out 'cause she's like so thin.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much as like society's whatever used to.
Yeah.
But she was fantastic at like being a ditz.
So good.
I liked that the one sister, Kathy Najimy's kind of obsessed with Bette Midler, and then Sarah Jessica Parker like doesn't care.
She's just looking for boys. She's just
looking for boys, and it's just like sitting on the bus driver's lap.
Oh my God! I was like, wait, we're gonna crash the bus. This is not safe. This is not up to code. What's happening? Oh my God.
So, yeah, they were really good. And then the infamous that every woman has ever done with their friends, if they have seen this movie, is the walk.
Yes! Oh my God, so good.
So good.
I definitely walked like that in college. Shed and Julie.
I hope people listening to this just hook arms with a stranger and just go, heh, heh,
just on the bus or on the train.
Whatever you're doing. We still haven't figured out your activities. You guys haven't gotten back to us on that, but we're waiting.
I don't know what you do, but you do stuff, so. Yeah, no, it's so true. I just loved it. And even in that beginning part where they're making the potion, when he's like, we need a dead man's toe, and then Sarah's like, dead man's toe, dead man's. She starts singing, which is amazing, because I feel like we would do that. And then her and Mary start throwing dead man's toes at each other, like in a little dead toe man fight. It was so funny. Oh my God. I was like, this is good. This is good.
It is good.
It's very believable that they were actually sisters.
It was very believable.
Yeah.
The only thing that I felt like was interesting is like they kind of skirted around their age.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the sense they were somewhat of different ages and that Winnie was the oldest, Mary was middle, and then Sarah was the younger one.
Yeah.
But I don't know like how much of a difference there was.
But and even just their ages in general, I get they're like these old witches, whatever, but at one point they like talk about their mom. They're like, mother! And okay, that makes you seem kind of young, but then, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing too is like, there is kind of some like symbolism with the whole sucking the life out of children for like youth and beauty. It's like, there's some Botox, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. It's like some Botox and all that kind of stuff to like
it's Botox
look young and
made of children.
I don't know. I feel like if it's a Disney movie, it's like, is this the best message?
Well, I guess they were the bad guys too, so
yeah,
like I don't know, even though they're fun, you also didn't want them to win.
No, but like why can't your motivation is just to be alive? Why can't this story be written to say, like, I have to suck the lives out of children to stay alive,
right,
and just skirt the whole young and beautiful garbage?
Or to make you more powerful, because even when they were young and beautiful, because then you're kind of like, well, now what? It's like the thing with Buffalo Bill, like what we talked about in that episode, where it's like, okay, you want to make a skin suit, but then what? Like, what's your next step?
You can't sew.
And like for this, they achieved what they wanted to achieve, but then you're like, then what? Are you gonna like go to the bar and like hit on people? Like, what's happening? I don't get it. It would have made more sense if it was like somehow by sucking the life out of children we get more powerful or whatever. But yeah, you're right. It was the stock. You're a lady, so all you want is beauty. And really, all that was different was like their hair changed color and they like had a little more makeup and there wasn't as wrinkles. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that annoyed me, but like, who cares? It's also like a stupid, silly movie. We need to talk about, I think, an unsung hero of the film, the one, the only Thora Birch.
Yo, I love Thora.
She was great.
Yeah, she's sassy.
She's like in Brokeback Mountain, Jack Twist. Like she's making like a lot of good points. Like, why do we go to the Sisters Museum? Why are you lighting the candle?
Yep.
Wait, why am I the 7-year-old telling all of you like how to make better decisions as adults?
The best is when she's like, oh, Max, you're gonna take me trick-or-treating. He's like, no, Danny, I'm upset. Life is hard. He's like, take yourself. You're 8. And she goes, I don't know anyone. Like, she's literally like, we just moved here. Also, I'm 8. And, like, I need an adult. So what's happening? Oh, my God.
But she did have one moment that I believe Bob told her to say.
Was it Yabos? Yabos! I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh.
So, let's set the scene. Earlier in the movie, Max meets Allison in class. He gets very confident to just give her his number in the middle of the class.
I have a lot of opinions about that class scene, but we can finish this point in the jump there.
Okay, so there's this interest. He goes home, he's in his room, what he thinks is alone, and he's fake making out with Allison.
Ew.
And then Thora Birch,
gross.
Danny, jumps out of the closet and says like, boo, and then she's like, ooh, Allison, ooh, like brother-sister teasing. Then they're in the Halloween trick-or-treating, and they surprise go to Allison's house, which all I kept thinking about is like, this is like a teenager's dream. Like, I'm gonna go help my sister, and this stinks, and then I just happen to walk into my crush's house.
Right,
like, get over yourself.
Wow.
That shit never happens.
And she's rich.
And yeah, she's rich, and she just shows up and says hi.
Oh, what a day.
So then she literally is like, oh, Allison. And he's like, shut up, Allison. And she has the audacity to... Wait, I wrote it down.
She goes, I don't have what you have yet. What do you call them, Max? Yabos?
Yabos?
Max likes your yabos.
Yeah, Max likes your yabos. In fact, he loves them.
When did he say that, Danny? Because I think you're putting words in Max's mouth.
I will tell you, Katie, if the roles were reversed and I was taking you trick-or-treating and we... in this scenario, I'm a man and I like Allison, and you say that, I am out the house.
Right.
I'm gone.
Now I'm abandoned.
You're abandoned.
I'm an abandoned
and
7-year-old.
I'm just gonna go across the street and sit and cry until you come out of the house and I take you home.
So real.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying. So that was Bob's problem. And I believe he made Thora Birch say it because she was cool up until that point.
I got the sense that even though this is a Disney movie, you could tell it was trying to appeal to, I think, somewhat of a teenager crowd. So I think
trying to be cool, a little edgy.
That's why they threw in a line like that. But also all the virgin talk. I mean, very, just really weird. Like, nobody talks like that, and just the humans talked about it a lot.
Is that still a thing?
I feel like it's
like
not.
Kids don't care anymore.
I don't think it's talked about in the way that this movie did it at all. Well, the adults were the weird ones, you know?
But like early 2000s, every teen movie was like, I'm a virgin, I can't be a virgin when I go to college. And you're just like, who cares?
I don't think it's like that, but maybe for some, I'm sure for some people it is, you know? Yeah. I'm sure some people put a lot of emphasis on that. And like, you don't need to. Listeners, if you're a youngin', take it from us, these 300-year-old witches. Nobody cares. just live your life. Whatever.
Well, this case in point, Billy, the zombie.
Oh my God.
Was dating Winifred, and then the Sarah Jessica Parker's character started to kiss him or whatever, and then she literally poisoned him, stitched his throat, or stitched his mouth and killed him.
She did.
Which I was like, love can get tough.
And then she recruits him for their Catching the Children gig. And I thought, wait, why would Billy work for you? What's the payout? I don't get it.
He pretty much just kept waving his hands at her like, ugh. And I was just laughing. Like, what?
Yeah, he was total comic relief. He had no purpose to the plot. He would just lose his head and you're like, haha, that's funny. And then like at the end, he cuts his mouth open and he talks and you're like, oh, see, he hates Winifred. And everyone's like, we know. Why would he like her? What do you mean? What's wrong with people? And then he didn't really help at the end because he got his head knocked off again. So
yeah, he couldn't keep his head on straight.
Yeah, so I think he was just, they were like, wouldn't that be neat if we had a zombie? That's spoopy. And someone was like, totally. And then here we are, so it's fine. But cool makeup. I mean, it looks good.
Okay, we should go back to the class scene. You have, what, anger opinions about? Let's discuss.
Okay,
what is the school policy on giving out your number to other kids?
No.
What's school policy on flirting? Let's discuss.
I want to know school policy on, instead of teaching a class, I'm going to dress up as a witch, which is not part of our lesson, and it's not in the curriculum, and I'm going to monologue about our local legend.
What? It's Halloween!
But, like, it was just really random, and all the kids were really into it, and I wrote a note being like, dang, this class drank the Kool-Aid, because they're just, everyone's like, Halloween is really serious, Max. You don't even know. And he's like, Jesus, guys. But also, I got it because, like, Max, why are you being so weird about Halloween? So I wrote, this crazy teacher is not teaching and she's preaching about witches. And then she throws, like, a ribbon spool at a girl. Like, she hits a kid with stuff, but the girl laughs, so I guess we're cool with it. And then Max is like, this is lame. And she's like, wow, everybody, let's publicly ostracize Max. Do it. And everyone's like, you suck, Max. And then
she's like, oh, you're the new kid?
Right.
This guy's stupid.
They're like, time for hazing. Let's do it, everyone. You know the routine, kids. And then Allison goes on her whole monologue of like, well, it's All Hallows Eve, and that's when the dead come back to life. And then everybody claps. Why are we clapping? What? Because she Wikipedia searched one fact, and I don't get it. It was so weird.
I am annoyed by her. Like, she just was, like, so vanilla.
Yeah, she was.
She kind of was like a Hermione, but wasn't as cool. Like, she was like a really dud Hermione.
Well, because she wasn't as helpful as a real Hermione would have been. And and she, like, just, I don't know, like, she didn't have a personality, and she wasn't as funny.
Thora Birch carried them. I'm just gonna say it.
She really was.
Did.
She was the adult. She was a 7-year-old adult. It's pretty sad. The only thing I liked that Allison did was when she gave back the number. I was like, yeah, girl, that's funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
I felt like she gave him a Halloween mini quiz where she's like, you don't like Halloween? And he was like, I don't know. I still this witches stuff. It's kind of weird. And then she gives him, like, the number back. And I'm like, ooh, if he said he liked it, would you have, like, kept his number? We'll never know. We'll never know. But yeah, and then she's not hanging out with any friends on Halloween, which is apparently your favorite holiday because you know facts about it. You're just at home.
Well, and your parents have a party every year? Like, just have, like, a friend over.
Your parents have a Hamilton-themed Halloween party. And it's the same party every year. And I want to be invited.
Wait, can we discuss how Thora Birch was like, whoa, a rich people house? And she goes, I bet they're going to offer us cider. I'm like, wait, that's a rich person thing? And she was like, and Bob for apples. I was like, that literally costs like $3. Like, Thora, what's happening? And he was like, totally.
Also, don't drink from strangers. Don't do that. Only eat wrapped candy. No.
Ugh.
No, I agree. Allison was she was kind of there. And you could tell that they were writing it in so that, I guess, like her and Max would get together, but they didn't need that because I felt like the real point of the story was the sibling relationship and how it kind of started off where he was like, I don't care about you, Danny, you're annoying. And then he shifted and was like, oh no, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, just him trying to protect her the whole time. So yeah, like she kind of knew some stuff in the beginning about Halloween, but then after that, you're like, okay, you're contributing nothing.
That's why she would have been like a cooler Hermione.
Yeah.
It's like, she introduces like, actually, Halloween's like blah, blah, blah. And she should have actually been not like this popular figure.
Right.
She should have looked like a fucking witch and been like kind of goth. Like how cool would that character be?
She did have a witch coat, which I actually liked that she was wearing when she left the school that day. I was like, that's a cool coat. I like that.
But that would have been cooler.
It would have been cool too, because in the whole second half, she goes on that whole thing about like, oh, I read the book and it tells me that salt can protect you from witches. And like, okay, I mean, I guess we needed to get the book open so the witches would find you guys later. But that, like, she could have just known that, and that would have been helpful because then they could have tried to use that earlier on, and you would have been like, wow, Allison, way to contribute to our team. But instead, Max is like, ow, my back hurts. And Danny's like, no, my back hurts. And then Binks the cat is like, guys, my back hurts. I'm a ghost cat. And yeah,
he's like, I've gotten run over by a bus.
Oh my God.
I'm just like really on the struggle bus.
I remember that as a kid being very, very upset by that. I think every kid, if you like animals, seeing that, you're like, holy shit, they just fucking ran over this cat. And then you're like,
too real.
Oh, he's alive. But also he's coming back to life really scary. And he makes a scary gasping noise. And there's like crackling bone noises. And I hate everything about that.
Yeah, like he could have just missed the bus and been like, that was a close one, and it would have had the same effect.
Or if he comes back to life, don't make it creepy looking and sounding. Just make it like, oh, look, he's back. Life is great. And everything's good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I loved the cat effects. I thought they were good.
They were really good.
Yeah.
I think all of the special effects were pretty okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like the flying
it's
and
true.
She had this magical power that basically looked like lightning from her hands. That wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been worse.
Right.
But wait, I want to go back to the beginning with the two punks.
Oh my God. I love them.
What?
I want to dress up as them
them
for Halloween one year. That's another movie duo that's on my Halloween list for 1 year.
I have to stop you. You like them?
I like how ridiculous they are. I don't like them for them. I like laughing at them.
Is this like how Dad thinks like Placid is a comedy, that you think they're ridiculous? Because I hated them.
They're so funny. I don't think they're to be taken seriously. I mean, maybe
so
Disney
annoying.
meant it. I know, but that's why they're funny.
Okay.
First of all, they're hanging out in a graveyard. It's daytime.
With the flannel tied around the waist.
Amazing.
And the multiple layer, and he had this like King Arthur haircut. While the other guy had the words ice shaved into the back of his head.
But like their reveal, so like the one guy, the blonde guy, his name was Jay. He is the first one to talk, and he's standing behind, they're both standing behind graves, and they pop up, and Jay does like this hair flip that like you do when you're in the pool and you're trying to look like George Washington. That's literally what he does. And then he goes, halt! Who are you? And that's like how he says it. And it's so funny. And why would Max stop? I would keep on moving because like I'm on a bike.
Same.
And they're just hanging out in a graveyard, and that's weird. And I don't know. I thought they were funny. And he's like, this is Ernie. And then Ernie's like, oh, my name's not Ernie anymore. It's Ice. This is Ice. Oh my God.
But like, he was trying to be LL Cool J. Like, that's the vibe I got that he was trying to be like.
I guess.
With his bucket hat, his leather bucket hat, and
maybe,
his chain, and whatever dumb shit he had. But we have to talk about how... Okay, so they're just punks, and they see a new kid, and they're like, oh, new kid, got any money? He's like, no, man, I'm just like, I have a bike, I'm riding home.
I'm trying to ride through the graveyard.
Well, look at those really cool sneakers.
Yeah, I know. They were like weird Nikes.
It would be equivalent to like someone stealing your landline phone. You know, like, that's a really cool phone. I'm going to take it off the wall.
I mean, maybe in like the 90s, though. I don't know.
It was
you know shoes better than me.
Well, all sneakerheads would be on the... Actually, they wouldn't even be watching this movie, but if they happened to be on the TV channel that you say it's on all the time, it would be like hysterically laughing because it's like dad shoes. Do you remember that meme of dad with the what are those shoes?
Those socks. They were Converses. They were like white Converses.
No. They were like Nike something.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying.
But all dads wear khaki shorts.
And the white Nike sneakers.
Yeah, whatever they are. That's what it looked like. And so I was just like, this is just too funny. And then he just rides off in his socks. I'm like, dude, you have the bike. Can't you just like run away from them?
Right. I mean, they clearly were only in this script to kind of tick off Max, right?
Yeah.
And then bother him again when he's trick-or-treating because they're vandalizing homes in front of families.
I don't understand why that house isn't like, get off my lawn.
They're throwing pumpkins and stealing children's candies. And where are the adults? All the adults were partying at the community center. That's where all the adults were. Great.
Well, do you remember growing up, like, Mischief Night?
Oh, yeah. That's, like, apparently only a New Jersey thing.
Wait, really?
Yeah. People from other states usually don't know about
They don't do that?
I don't think so. No.
Well, should we educate?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Oh, sure. I mean, Mischief Night it's kind of a tradition that the night before Halloween, you go out after it's dark and you just kind of like, I mean, it's technically vandalizing, but it's more so you're throwing toilet paper on trees or like...
smashing a pumpkin.
Yeah, like doing silly stuff like that to houses. I used to go out a little bit with some of my friends.
We would say, what, age 13, 14 to like...
Oh, I feel like I did by like 11.
16? Okay, so maybe like, that middle school, freshman of high school, and then like you're over it.
Yes.
Because I feel like they were the young teens, whatever, that should have been out at Mischief Night. And you're like, but you're out with like kids on Halloween throwing pumpkins, stealing their candy. Like,
it was a lot.
I don't understand.
But that's why it was funny, because I was like, this is so absurd. And then Danny, like you said, because she's awesome, she's like, you're a zit face, get away.
And then they were like, oh!
And they all got like so bad. The best line is they were like, oh, Hollywood, I love the costume. Who are you supposed to be? A new kid on the block? And then they laugh at their terrible joke. And then Danny, because she keeps making stuff up that Zach said that he didn't say, she goes, for your information, he's a little leaguer. Danny, he never said that.
Again, Bob is feeding the birch lines and she just sounds like an idiot.
What does that even mean? A baseball player? What?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God. It's just so ridiculous. I love it. I thought they were so funny and I loved how they like cross paths with the witches later. And they're obviously jerks. So they are jerks to the witches. They're like, oh, they're ugly. Which is like, that's rude. So I'm glad you got your comeuppance. And then they basically just get put into these like cages. And then it kind of, for them, kind of turns into Saw, and then we never see him again. No one knows. Jigsaw's like, bye.
Don't hate that, because their characters made me crazy, so done. Bye.
1 year I will dress up as them for Halloween.
If you do that, you have to commit and shave the word ice.
Oh, no. I would be Jay. Definitely would be Jay. I would not be Ice.
Well, I'm not being Ice. Gotta go to Mary for that one.
Okay, I'll start working on that.
Although you could give her like a swimming cap and like draw the word ice on the back.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Maybe in that case, I'd be Ice in that case.
Black.
Oh my God.
You could draw like black little hairs.
Oh my God, It's all coming together.
You know what? If anybody wants to take that costume...
Send us photos.
You can take it.
And send photos.
Oh my God.
Please.
Send us photos.
Oh my God, I love it.
The other thing I was thinking about too is like, I don't have kids, so I don't know if this is true, but I feel like I remember that Halloween is getting like more and more strict just as like time goes on. So like kids can only go out, and then when it gets dark, they all have to be back inside and like this and that. And it was kind of nice seeing like nighttime kids getting candy, moving on, like kind of just like normal, I guess.
I don't know if there's necessarily that that strict of a curfew. Well, I think obviously this year with COVID, it's going to look different. But I mean, I don't know. I've seen kids being out at night. It's just, I don't see kids by themselves. Like, you saw a lot of kids that were clearly elementary school or younger that were just like by themselves or like alone. I'm like, wait, so you don't even have like a group of friends? You're just like alone getting candy? What's happening? That's dangerous. Don't do that. But again, all those parents, they were at that really cool Halloween party, which I'm not gonna lie, I would love to go to that. That looks like
it looks really
so much fun. Holy moly. And the skeleton band? Dude.
Oh my God. But if mom like wore a Madonna cone
oh
bra,
no.
I would scream and run out of the building. I don't know why I'm going down this like weird daydream right now, but Pen 15.
The best show ever. Oh
which
my God.
Is amazing.
Season 2, amazing.
I'm thinking of when I was in middle school in Halloween times and just all the weird stuff you do where you were like, I can't have like a plastic bag. I want a pillowcase, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, that's cooler.
The cool pillowcase, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, you get the house with raisins, and you're like, I hate that house. They give us raisins.
Or they give you, like, pennies, but it's, like, 11 of them, and you're like, God, no, this is a candy.
But I'm tying it to Pen 15 because that second season that came out, which was incredible.
Amazing.
The third season, if for some reason Pen 15 people hear this, you have to do a Halloween episode. Because can you imagine Pen 15 doing a Halloween episode?
So good.
They would crush it. So that's my weird tangent.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So I loved, like I said, seeing the trick-or-treating, and you mentioned it when the witches do come back. Almost immediately, there's like they're from the 1600s and it's normal time, so they don't understand things. So Max does the burning rain of death, and they're like, burning rain of death, oh my God. And it's really just the sprinklers, and they don't know what those are, so it starts raining inside, and they freak out, whatever, and then they figure it out. And it was just so many little scenes of that where I was like, they did that with the sprinklers, they did that with the road, they did that with the firemen, where they were like, that witch hunters, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Then with the bus and the trick-or-treating, and oh my gosh, so many. But it also didn't annoy me, because that could get old, I feel like, and
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I didn't get bothered by it.
The bus when the guy's like, wow, look at you two gorgeous ladies, and then he was like, what are you looking for tonight? And she was like, children. And he's like, whoa, it might take a bit, but I'll get there. I was like, are you our father? I can't.
That guy was a little too down to become a dad. Like, it was with like 3 people he doesn't know. Can
you imagine like an official city bus driver letting some like girl sit on their lap? Like,
I wrote a note being like, what? Are there other people on this bus? Because I used to take the bus in Philly, and I feel like if I was on a Philly bus and some like girl came in and was sitting on the bus driver's lap, I'd be like, ding, 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 pull over. I'm getting off.
The door.
I gotta go.
The first red light.
I don't care we're in the Ben Franklin. Get off. I gotta go. Yeah, no, that is not okay.
Oh, but
too much.
And what did you think of all like the music, like the random busting out of music?
I loved it.
I loved it too.
Loved it.
I thought it was super good.
That wasn't an original song, right? Isn't that that's a song that came out like a long time ago and they just covered it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, it's not totally believable that these 3 women who've been dead, presumably in heaven. I just kind of feel like you don't get to practice song and dance in heaven. But I could be wrong. Yeah. And, they are all choreographed and in tune. And wow, so it was a production.
It was so good.
I also didn't really know why. So the kids, like, most of the song is sung at this point, and then the parents like, this is great, and the kids like, cover your ears. What? Why? Like, how did they know that's what you were supposed to do? It was kind of random. Didn't really get that.
I thought that was random too. And I was also like, they're not listening to you anyways. Like, witches don't need to like put them under a trance, because like they literally couldn't care less, kids, what you need. They're like, go away, bye. We just moved to a new place. See ya.
Oh my God, these parents, nobody cared. The only parent that kind of cared was this random lady who's in this Halloween party. She's dressed as like a cowgirl, and she's by herself, like pretend shooting off guns, like, whoa, whoa. And then when Zach steals the microphone and gets on stage and he goes, your kids are in danger. She's literally the only adult that's like, what do you mean? Like, she's the only one that cares. Meanwhile, his parents were like, ugh, this guy, get him off the stage. Jeez. I was like,
they're like, what are you dressed as? He's the worst.
It's just like,
and Thora Birch is in the back. He's a little leaguer.
He's a little leaguer.
No.
That was so funny. Oh no. Yeah. I realized actually that Halloween party, that scene takes place after the witches meet up with the devil, who is played by, do you know who he's played by?
No.
Gary Marshall.
Wait.
You know the name.
I do know the name. What the heck has he been in? Oh, he's been in a lot.
He created Happy Days.
Oh, okay.
With our other Halloween-y friend, Henry Winkler from Scream, was in that.
The worst principal
ever.
The
worst principal ever. There's a theme with the adults. Yeah, Gary Marshall. So random. I mean, he was funny. I liked him.
Yes.
But, again, it's another scene where they're like, Master, it's the devil. Even though, like, weren't you guys just in heaven? And, like, does the devil really look like Gary Marshall? Because I have questions about that.
If it's an old white dude, no one's shocked. But
old white dude who's super skinny. He's wearing the Spirit's Halloween devil costume, plastic horns. Yeah, totally. Definitely. It's on brand.
Well, and his, like, what, cranky wife? Is that what we think she was?
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of seemed more like the devil than him.
Right?
She was so angry.
Oh my god.
And she had the weirdest, like, hair curlers in.
Yeah, they weren't done right. I don't think she knew how to use them.
I was like, what?
I don't know.
Are you, like, going out tomorrow? Because it's Halloween.
Yeah,
what's happening?
Daylight savings. Come on.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, it was funny, though. And, of course, the dog saves the day. Because animals save the day. All the days.
All the days.
And then the kids hatch a weird plan that I personally would never have thought of, where they're like, hey, I saw an oven in an alleyway, and that made me think of, well, let's set these women on fire in a kiln in the school, which I feel like would require a lot of steps, but somehow it happens in the next scene. So
yes.
It just comes together very easily for them.
I will tell you, this advocates for keeping the arts and cooking classes in schools, because that skill will help protect you when witches come back.
Yeah, so let's all vote on our school boards to keep kilns in schools. But they they break into the school, then the witches magically know they're at the school, and then they magically know where to go, and then Max hijacks the loudspeaker. Just a lot of steps, but
there is a lot of steps.
I mean, I guess it works, because then they get in the kiln, they set them on fire, and then what else do you do when you murder adults? You celebrate. A little tone deaf. Honestly, I felt like there were a lot of tone deaf parts in this
jumped
movie.
over the dark. There's a lot of dark scenes that are just like jumped over.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even in the beginning when the little girl Emily dies, like she's literally dead, and then the witch is like, we're young and beautiful, and there's like happy minstrel music playing, and you're like, wait, am I sad or okay, I don't know.
Well, and she just like, the kid is, they just like literally put a sheet over the kid that's just dead sitting there. It's like, oh.
Yeah, like she's dead, and like they celebrated and did a dance, and like it made me feel like, should I be dancing? Because you have that music on. So I don't know. That was like this part. They were like, woo, life is good, everything's awesome. And then Binks is like, I'm still a cat, which like, wouldn't that be your clue? I mean,
yeah,
it's a weird curse for the cat, because they did technically die in the beginning. So, like, why didn't it stop at that point? We don't know. Disney doesn't know. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Boo!
What are the rules, Boo?
What are the rules? Yo, that book was, like, alphabetized, too. It was in order.
That's a pretty for real book.
It's so weird. Why did we do that, everyone? I don't know.
I bet you that's on Etsy. I bet you somebody's made that book.
They definitely.
In Beetlejuice, and it's on Etsy.
Yeah. Oh, I want that. Ooh.
I have so many things to send you that haven't.
All Halloween stuff. I love it. Yeah, well, that book, messes shit up because those witches ain't dead. And stupid Allison is like, yo, let's open this book. And then Max is like, wait, but Binks says don't do it. And she's like, whatever. And then they open it.
And then all of a sudden, Kathy Najimy's on a vacuum. What's happening?
Right, not in the exact next scene, but yeah, I love that. I mean, it wasn't like an integral part, but I thought it was so funny. Of course she gets the vacuum. Like, you couldn't give, like, Sarah Jessica Parker the vacuum. No, you had to give it to Kathy.
Of course, because she's, like, bigger, whatever.
Oh my god.
Boring.
So ridiculous.
But yeah.
So the witches kidnap Danny. Oh, shit. Danny kidnapped. But they also just go back to their house. This is the same problem. We know where you live.
This is like Sister Act when they steal her and go back to the casino.
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
go to the place that they are at all the time.
There's like other pots in other areas, but I guess all their ingredients are there, so maybe I'll give it to them for that. But like, it's a museum. What do you think? People have preserved your dead man's toes?
Yeah, no, there was definitely some issues with that. And then, obviously they catch up and Max does another technology's gonna fake you out, daylight savings. But I guess it really wasn't daylight savings. It was just a car. And then where do they go? They go to the desert. No, graveyard. Where are we? What's happening?
I don't know. What day is it?
We're in a graveyard. It's still Halloween. Okay, we're at the end. We're at the graveyard.
Okay.
Right when they get to the graveyard, what happens? Billy the zombie, who nobody remembered or cared about because he doesn't do anything, grabs Max.
Oh.
And then Winnie's like, yeah, get him or something. And then, first of all, Max tried to, like, shank him. He pulled, what was the Fern Gully guy? Zach! He pulled a Zach and he tried to shank him, just like Zach tried to shank Batty. And
awkward.
Good thing he didn't. I mean, he's also like a zombie, so I don't think that would do anything. But Billy cuts his mouth open and is like, you're a hag. And she's like, I'm so insulted. Like, what are we doing? We have a time limit.
You did kill him.
Right.
By poison and stitched his mouth. You thought he'd help?
It's called accountability, Winnie. God. Yeah, and just, I didn't feel like they had a plan at the end. I don't know how you felt about it.
No.
It was, what? Okay, we're gonna put the little kid in Billy's grave. Okay. And then we're gonna surround it with salt, and then we're all just gonna stand around.
Yeah. Well, and think about, like, how intricate the kiln plan was, that they like, just couldn't get more salt or something. Like, right? It's like, just go get more salt. Like, what's happening?
But, in this whole ending, I get why they did it, because the focus is on these characters, but Sarah Jessica Parker calls out Winnie, and she's like, hey, even though that kid Danny escaped again, there's literally all these children walking to our house because I made them zombies, and, like, we can just, like, kill these kids. And she's like, no! Yeah. And you're like, okay, no.
Yeah, you're like, I feel like your power's getting to your head. So...
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm sorry, a typical older, bossy sibling.
Ooh.
Wow.
Said it.
Throwing shade at you, Jimmy. No, I'm kidding.
You said it. Yeah. Not good planning. Just not overall. It's like many of these movies. Many of these characters just don't seem to plan very well. We were in hell for 300 years. And you didn't make a plan for what you were gonna do. No. And,
no plan.
Billy loses his head again. Take a sip every time Billy loses his head. That's probably one of them.
Waterfall is Thackeray Binks falls down the hill in the woods, and then when Billy loses his head.
Billy loses his head. When they say sisters was, like, definitely one of them. There's so many more, and I guarantee you we did not make that up. I'm sure we got it from a website, so you could probably just Google it. But yeah, Billy loses his head, and Danny, whose one job is to literally stay in the grave and not move, says, I have a great idea. I'm gonna get out of this grave to give this zombie that I don't know his head.
Honestly, this is like the Yabos comment. Yeah, like Thora Birch. Again, Bob just came over and whispered something awful, and it's all Bob's fault.
Yeah, you're so right. So, they get Danny. They're gonna kill her. Somehow Max got the potion. I don't actually remember how that happens. I feel like it had something to do with Binks.
Well, he just stole it.
Oh, okay.
And he just grabbed it out of the hand and just started chugging it.
Well, he told her at first, he's like, I'm gonna drink it. Now you gotta take me, not Danny.
I mean, that's kind of like an intense last scene with the whole gripping hand statue vibe.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, oh.
I love it.
It was like a little scary.
It totally was scary. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. This is the thing. This is why this movie rocks, is like, it purposefully doesn't pick a lane. It's like, we're gonna be funny, but we're not a comedy. We're gonna be scary, but we're not a horror. We're gonna be family, but we're not PG. I mean, it was fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
And then I Put a Spell on You song. I mean, stop.
So fun.
Just like the best.
And then they blow up, like straight up. Except it's Disney, so it's like fairy dust. It's like cute, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Whereas
it's like Tinkerbell.
if this was like a straight up horror movie, it would be like blood and guts, just like flying everywhere, and then all the kids would be covered in like blood. Like that's the adult Hocus Pocus we need, you know?
You're right. It could go two ways. It
Yeah.
could go like the cartoon version where it's like la la la, or like the evil horror.
Yeah.
Where there's just like carry blood everywhere.
Oh my god. And then Binks dies.
But he's reunited with Emily.
He is. And like people don't forget he's not wearing shoes.
Okay, but here's the thing that also, like, back to the age thing. It's like, okay, so the witches want to suck the lives out of children to stay young and beautiful. But then he's cursed with never being able to die.
Right.
So, wait, what's better? The fountain of youth or, like, surviving forever? I was also kind of like, okay. So then you were like, wait, am I sad that you're dead or I'm happy you're dead?
I mean, I think he was happy.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Ew, but did you see what he did to Danny at the end? I watched this movie with Mary, by the way, and like...
Was she like, ew?
Well, I was like, have you seen this? And she was like, I've seen parts of it, whatever. And at that part, so at the end, he's a ghost, and he's like, I'm free! Life is great! And then he is like, don't be sad, Danny. Thanks for freeing me. To Danny. What did Danny do? Danny didn't do anything. Danny did nothing. Danny messed up our plan that wasn't a plan. Anyway, that's one thing. Then, and he's like a teenager, right? So I got the sense he was like Max's age.
Yeah, he's older.
He's like older. He leans in and he whispers in her ear, I'll always be with you. And then he kisses her on the cheek, and it was not cute. It was not. I hated it. Didn't like it. It was not like Casper, you know? Because they were the same age. Like, this is not okay.
I think if people could see your face, it would be better, because you literally, like, Kathy Najimy's, like, side, like, smile, where she's like, ooh, that's what you looked like, but angry.
Yeah. I hate it.
Amazing.
I don't like it. They're not actual siblings. Like, that's too much. Don't.
Oh my God.
Mary was like, he could have just gave a nice hug. But nope, he had to go in there with the lips. It's gross.
I mean, he doesn't wear shoes, so he's a little off.
He's a little, yeah. He's had 300 years of no social skill practice, so
This movie's about shoes, whether you're losing them to punks or you don't have them, or if you do, you're flying.
There's some type of shoe metaphor happening, and I don't know what it is. The last line of this movie is just so stupid. The sister's like, Thackeray Binks, what took you so long? And he goes, sorry, Emily, I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle. And then it cuts to the three, like Max and Danny and Allison, and they're all like, and they're just like smiling at that weird comment. And then I wrote, #Disney. It's so ridiculous. Oh my God.
Oh.
If they're really making that sequel,
they could fix some stuff up.
But I just feel like they're not. I have such low expectations for sequels or reboots because they're usually not good, especially for kids movies. They're just, I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but I guess we'll see. I hope they kind of figure out the virgin thing because it's so random.
Oh, that's so stupid.
It's stupid.
They can come up with something better.
Right.
This is kind of random, but I wanted to see what Roger Ebert said about this.
Oh, yeah. What do you think?
He gave it 1 star.
Ooh. What were some of his reasons?
He goes, watching the movie is like attending a party you weren't invited to, where you don't know anybody, they're all in on the joke, but won't explain it to you. Damn!
Ouch.
But yeah, he just thought the witches didn't have personalities and they like stunk.
Oh,
which
I disagree.
I'm gonna say he was wrong about that.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
I thought they were great.
I mean, I don't think this is a well-loved movie by older men.
Ooh, she put it down.
Because I could see them not appreciating.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. They're
Right.
not funny.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're hilarious.
Yeah. You gotta accept it for what it is. This was, like, not even in theaters, right? This was I assume, like, straight to video or made for TV movie.
No, it did come out in theaters in July. Remember?
Right.
It came out in July. So, like,
okay.
I don't know how many people are watching it, but when you look at the sales, like, it did fantastic. It just wasn't, like, off the bat. It, like, grew. So
Yeah.
that's so fascinating to me when that happens. But I want to hear, if you can't think of anything else in the movie, I want to hear a dad quote.
Yeah, so kind
question mark.
Literally going off of what we just said, I don't think many older men have seen this movie. Therefore, we do not have a dad quote. But don't worry, I got creative and I went to our mom and I got us a mom quote. Yeah, so I sent it to you.
Should I make guesses on what she should say? Because will she sing? I don't know. We don't know.
There no singing, but you know.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna play it now. All right. So Dad politely passed on giving a quote. So we're going to Mom. So Mom, say hello.
Hi.
We watched Hocus Pocus this week. So what do you think of the movie Hocus Pocus?
It's cute, but I especially love Bette Midler.
Oh, yeah. Why do you love her?
She's silly. She has a good voice.
Yes.
And I even saw her on Broadway in Hello, Dolly, which was awesome. She's
probably great in that.
She can't dance, but she can sing.
Oh my God. That is such a mom quote. I love Bet. I saw her play. She can't dance. What, Mom? What?
I mean,
Man, older women love Bette Midler.
Yo, I love Bette Midler.
Love her.
She's queen.
I mean, I do too, but like they like love.
Yeah,
Bette Midler.
yeah. So,
hey, thanks, Mom, for showing up, and Dad, no thanks to you.
Oh,
sheesh.
Woo.
But everybody, if you have not seen Hocus Pocus, stop what you're doing, get yourself a cider, and put that bad boy in. Because this will make you laugh, and it's silly and stupid and lighthearted.
I guarantee you it's probably playing on Freeform right now. It doesn't even matter what day you're listening to this or the time. I guarantee you it's being played. So
you're actually already watching it. It's on.
Yes.
Just look behind you. It's on. Turn around.
It's everywhere. Basically, I mean, Halloween season, so... Well, unfortunately, this is our last episode in October, and next week will be November. So we are kind of moving away from our spoopy episode. I mean, we can always pick whatevs, but we don't have to keep it Halloween-y is the point. So this is my pick, though. I have a pick for you. And I felt like this month, we were in the 90s a lot. Almost every movie, I think, this month was 90s.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go 2000s.
Ooh.
So I got us 2000s. It is a drama. I don't think it's a comedy, but let me triple check. I mean, it's probably not. Drama. A sports drama.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, football started. Well, now it's October, but we record these separately.
Football?
So football has kind of been, a regular thing now again. So I wanted to do a football movie.
Oh, boy.
It's a football drama. It's from the 2000s. It does its best to talk about very important topics that unfortunately are very topical now.
Oh.
But it's like inspirational. So it came out in 2000.
Okay.
Right in 2000.
Right.
It's mainly teenagers, but we do have some adult stars. Denzel Washington. We're gonna watch Remember the Titans. We are the Titans.
Mighty Titans. Right?
I don't remember the rest.
The video is shaking, so it just looks like you're in a car.
I
right
have you
now.
on a pillow and you're just like going back and forth. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I probably haven't seen that since the 2000s.
Oh my God, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, when was the last time I watched this? Holy moly.
What made you think of that? Like, just football season?
Yes, and I, may or may not have a list of movies for you, and I looked through the list and then was like, oh, yeah. So.
Denzel Washington just, like, busts out the most inspirational stuff ever.
All the time,
and I feel like in COVID times where we're, like, really just getting tired.
All the time.
All the COVID, and it's just depressing, and then you have election and whatever. Like, this, I'm gonna need Denzel. I'm gonna need a good Denzel quote.
We're all gonna need Denzel to keep us feeling okay, because who knows what the future will bring. So Denzel, please save us. Please help us. Actually, let me look. So this episode is coming out next week on November 4th.
Wow.
So, if you need a little uplifting for whatever reason, or if you just want to watch it with us, and we'll be talking about that next week.
Gotta remember the Titans. I'm trying to remember all these scenes.
Woo!
I love it.
Yeah!
I'm so excited.
Well, Bridget, I just wanted to end our episode with this.
Oh.
I hope our Hocus Pocus episode put a spell on you all. And now you'll subscribe. I'm not singing the rest of the song.
Give us 5 stars, baby. Yeah.
And then we'll do a musical dance number about subscribing and rating our podcast.
We put Mom's track in there, and she's like, I'm the worst. Oh, the witches. And you're like, Mom, stop.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'll tell you this. You put a spell on me because I never thought I'd be doing a podcast.
Ooh.
And I like it.
Yes, we love podcasting.
So, that was amazing.
Yeah, so next week on to Remember the Titans. Oh my God, that's going to need to be the drinking game next week, because we've already done that like 5 times in this episode. We're going to do it all next episode.
As you get your drink from the kitchen, I want people to just do the dance, like, get your refill, the refill dance.
Everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? Get out. Oh, I love it. All right, well, we will see y'all next week, listeners.
See you next week. Thanks for listening.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, among other podcasting websites. Or listen on our website at sisterswhoseenit.buzzsprout.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at sisterswhoseen and on Instagram at sisterswhoseenit, all spaced with underscores. See you next week.